Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. Today I'll have a guest on from the LaGrange Police Department. Also, I will have a special guest on, so make sure that you stay tuned for those interviews coming up in just a moment. Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. As our young people prepare to go back to school, we always want to make sure that they're safe on the bus stops, on the buses, or in the schools. And we have on the show today Corporal England to talk about safety as relates to kids. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Alton.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you today, Wesley, to talk a little bit about school safety and just safety at intersections and just safety in general, because as the school buses are now rolling, our kids are going back, we want to make sure that they arrive safe and they come home safe. Talk a little bit about your role, first of all, if you don't mind.
All right, well, right now we got a lot of new traffic crossing guards, and they've been trained and everything. They're just getting used to it, and a lot of people's trying to get back in that rhythm of being off for the summer, be able to sleep in that little extra, time, and they're trying to get the kids that we just want to let them know to make that extra time, because you do got your school buses stopping, and always be safe with the school buses. You got to always stop a school bus unless there's a median in the middle of the roadway, like New Franklin Road. If you see a school bus, you got to stop.
Okay. Commerce
Avenue, which I don't ever see them pick up at Commerce, but just basically the only road that you wouldn't have to stop would be the Callaway Church Road, right there by the Walmart DC, because it's got like a grassy or a medium area in it. We want people to give that extra time, because the school buses do go slow. They do make multiple stops, and let their parents know that, hey, you need that little extra time. And there's going to be more traffic out there because, during the summertime, a lot of people, don't really go that same way every day because they're not dropping their kids off at school. And we try to tell the parents, hey, buckle your kids up, because the safety is what we really are concerned about in the traffic division.
Absolutely. Now, you made a couple of points, like on Commerce Avenue. Well, now I'm going to go to New Franklin Road. You got 5 lanes there.
Yes.
The school bus is stopped in the right-hand lane. The traffic traveling south must also stop.
That's
correct?
Right.
Okay.
All traffic should stop when the red track, because there might be a child that crosses New Franklin Road, or there might not. But children are children.
That's right.
When they jump off the school bus, they might start running or get disoriented. Especially small children. And we try to tell people, and by Georgia law, you have to stop on like the New Franklin Road. And last year we had a little bit of problems with that, and we had to actually we wrote a few citations out there and gave some warnings, trying to make people aware that yes, you do have to stop. And I know it's a 5-lane road, but you need to stop because the school bus is letting children off.
That's right. That's right. And talking about that, because you can have the lights, or and I know a lot of school buses have I think the yellow lights, and then the red lights come on. So if the yellow light is flashing, is it safe for them to proceed on?
I would actually prepare to stop. It's kind of like a traffic light. When your traffic light goes from green to yellow, it's basically saying your green movement's been terminated, so prepare to stop.
Okay.
Because the bus driver might throw that arm out, then that kid rushes off the school bus, and then here you've hit a child, and that's something you really don't want to do, or anybody wants to do.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned crossing guards too. At various locations of schools, they have crossing guards, and they act as traffic controlling devices.
Yes, that's correct.
And talk a little bit about their role, if you don't mind.
Well, they're very important with our school crossing, because we have so many schools. Like Ethel Kite shut down, they're actually over where West Side is, so there's a school crossing guard there. We got one at Hollis Hand, and you got all that construction going on out there. And then we got a new person over there at Troop High. And last year we had an officer, and then I'm working Lafayette Christian School, and they're supposed to have somebody fill in there. But they're in the mornings and afternoons just to help the traffic. It might delay you a couple minutes or something, because what they're doing is they're actually getting the traffic to flow. When people couldn't turn into schools, like a Lafayette Christian School, a lot of people's turning left, and they're getting out, and they're basically there to assist people with the traffic, to try to get the traffic to move smooth as possible. And I know some people kind of get in a hurry, but in the school, we got the flashing lights going on in school, like at LaGrange High, and then you got Troop High. We've had several wrecks in the school zone last year, so we're trying to let people know, hey, drive careful, slow down, be buckled up, and be aware of your crossing guards and the school buses and children.
That's right, absolutely. And most of the crossing guards wear the safety vests and things like that.
They wear the vests, they got the hats, they got the gloves on.
Okay.
And when we're out there, we have the police car with the lights, and we will also wear the vest and the gloves. We just don't wear a neon hat, but they got all that neon stuff so people can say, hey, there's a crossing guard, I need to slow down.
Absolutely. And that's a good point, just slowing down. I heard you mention a couple of times, taking that extra time. And let's talk about putting kids in the vehicles. We have the smaller kids, and then we have the the middle-aged kids, and of course the high school kids. But I think this is safety that's applicable to all of them. Small kids between the ages of 1 and 2. How and where should they ride in the vehicle?
Well, your birth children between 12 months should be in a rear-facing car seat, in the back seat. You can put them on the left or right, but if you only got one child, I would say put them in the middle, because if somebody hits you in the side impact, they're a lot safer in the middle. But if you've got 2 or 3 children, you've got no choice but to put some on the side. And once they're 1 to 3, you still keep them in the rear facing. You don't actually put them into a forward facing. Now when you get the child safety seat, it's going to give you the age and the weight of the rear facing. Then you can move to a forward. Okay. But they got to be buckled up with them up to 8 years old now, including the booster seat. And like I tell parents, and the way in terms they need to go out of the booster seat is if that seat belt is irritating that neck or riding above that neck, you still need to probably keep them in a booster seat. What it does is a booster seat boosts them up higher, where the seat belt goes across the chest, where it's a lot safer for them from either hitting their neck or something. And if they get a rear impact or a frontal impact, and especially when the parents up front buckled up, you got them airbags. I don't know how long they're good, but from my understanding, it's good as long as they've never been deployed. But once they get deployed, then you need to replace them because of safety issue. And with the seatbelt on, it's going to stop you from going forward, especially in a rear impact, where you would hit your steering wheels back in the day when they didn't have airbags. A lot of people would hit their face or ear and stuff. So, and they've got when they went from lap to lap and shoulder to try to keep your upper body safer back on the car, because you're safer falling back to the car seat because it's a car seat compared to any other compartment in the car. That's right, absolutely. And talking about airbag deployment and things of that nature, and you say they're normally pretty, dependable until they are deployed, and then you have to have them replaced. And talking about child restraining there too, back seats, booster seat, things of that nature. And they have the proper, latching instructions there, facing forward, correct, you said? You can, you can have once they get older and get out of the rear facing. Okay. Which usually, if you read your owner's manual, it's going to tell you the age or the weight of it. Then you move to the forward. Okay. And then you still want to keep them. Yeah, like I said, if you got one child, it's always safe in the middle. But if you've got 2 or 3 children, you need to put them, accordingly where you feel comfortable with them at. But they need to have that booster seat up until they're 8 years old. And that's what Georgia law was. It was 5 at one time. Okay. And they actually changed it to 8 for the children's safety. And that's mainly what the state's concerned about, and we're concerned about, is children can travel, and the citizens, through the City of LaGrange, and try to prevent them from having an accident, or if they do have an accident, possibly getting hurt. Right, absolutely. And I wanted to make sure I was clear. They have 3 grandsons. They always argue about the front seat, so I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing too. It's always important that we try to make sure that our kids are safe in any place. I want to talk a little bit because you have some pamphlets here too that the citizens can walk into the local police department and pick up. Has great information there in talking about a number of things there. If you don't mind, just a couple of points there, if you don't mind. In traffic, we all the time in education. A lot of people might know where they can get the information, because people stop. What about age? A seatbelt. It's got this example of a pamphlet. It's basically talking about child passenger safety. They're free to anybody. It tells you the age limits and what they recommend for the child when they're riding in the car, and how to buckle them up. We also got pamphlets about distraction. It's all about traffic safety. You just walk in the lobby, you can help yourself. We constantly put them in there every year. We get them from the Georgia Highway Safety Administration, and putting out safety information. That way people know, hey, not to do this, or it's like there's another one that has myths and facts about seatbelts. There's a lot of different myths and facts, and it's in English and it's in Spanish. Okay. So we do encourage people to come in the lobby, and get you a pamphlet. If there's something that you are wanting to know about or something, they can request from the traffic officer. We can see if we got it, or if we can get that information, because there's so many different pamphlets out there that the state puts out. We try to get as many as we can to put out in the lobby and stuff for people to pick up if they have any questions, or They just want some reading material on the safety of driving through the city.
Okay. As we talk about safety and driving through the city, I know there a lot of intersections. Some have over the do not block intersection, and I know that it seems like something that happens quite frequently here in our
Yes.
city. Talk a little bit about that and the consequences that go along with that.
Well, basically, you can't enter into no intersection. You can't exit.
Okay.
Even the light's green, you can't proceed in the middle of the intersection because, like I explain to a lot of people, what are you going to do when the light turns red?
Mm-hmm.
You're either running a traffic control device or you're blocking the road because other traffic can't flow.
That's right.
So you always need to try to judge the distance between the intersection so that you're not hung out in the intersection. We've got signs posted. We've had a lot of complaints, and a couple of times we've actually did some traffic enforcement on that.
Okay.
The fine's not real high. I think it's last time I recall, I think it was around $100.
Okay. Okay.
But the problem is when they block the intersection, okay, the light changes, that creates more traffic on the other end because they can't go because you got a car or two in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then also if say an ambulance and comes through the intersection or a fire truck, they can't get through because you're in the way.
That's right.
And we've put signs out and stuff like that, try to encourage people, don't block the intersection. And we've had to do some enforcement with certain intersections like Lafayette Parkway and Morgan. We one Saturday actually did a traffic detail out there, and there were several officers out there, and we actually stopped a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
They were either issued a written warning or they gave them a citation, which was up to the officer.
Absolutely.
So we try to encourage people, especially like in the middle of lunch hour and stuff, give yourself that distance because you don't want to follow a car too close anyway because what happens if they break down or they slam on brakes, then you could be possibly involved in an accident or stuck behind that car because you're following too closely where you can't get out.
Right. Absolutely.
And proceed on through your travels.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times if we just exercise a little bit of courtesy as we drive around the city,
Yes.
and like I say, give yourself that distance and that time, then not only will our kids be safe that they travel back to school, but we will be safe, and makes you guys' jobs a lot easier too.
Yes.
I'm sure. Absolutely.
And like I said, we encourage people to make that extra time, because there is more traffic out in the mornings. There are the school buses, and that's what the school buses are. They're picking up children as they're coming in. Watch the lights, and and everybody buckle up and watch the crossing guards, listen to them, and they'll direct you in and out of your travel to the schools as quick as possible. That way you can go about work or go back home, whatever you need to do.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing this information, Corporal England. And we know that the kids are going to be safe, and we definitely know that the citizen will help to protect our kids and, again, make your job a lot easier. So
Yes.
thank you very much for being on the show today.
Glad to be here.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Weekend in just a moment. Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have the pleasure of sitting down with one of the gentlemen that's responsible for the viewing that you see from week to week, the station manager, Philip Sled. Philip, welcome to the show.
Hey, Alton.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. I get a chance to work with you on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis, but I never had a chance to really sit down and talk with you and talk about some of the things that you guys do. You, along with Keith McDowell, do a great job, and I know that the viewing audience appreciate all of the viewing that you guys do. Talk a little bit about how you put all these things together, Philip.
Well, Alton, I appreciate your kind words, and every week is really a great pleasure to have you come into the studio and do a show.
Well, thank you.
We're blessed to have this job. Keith and I, we both enjoy our work, but it's more than just the television shows that we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we do stuff in studio. We go out on location.
Okay.
I don't know if the viewers realize it or not, but every month we're out at Vernon Woods doing a cooking show.
That's right.
We're out at That and If Life doing a show, or either we're on West Point Lake doing a show, and then the rest of them are here in the studio. So, we really enjoy that, but it's not just shows that we do.
Uh-huh.
The city keeps us pretty busy doing other things, such as informational videos that we do. And before I get into that, I do want to say thank you, Me and Keith was out there earlier trying to figure out how many years you've been doing this.
Oh, Lord.
And we think we've got it down to 7.
Is it 7 years now?
I think it is. We've been doing this show for 10 years now.
Okay.
And you might have been doing it for 8, who knows? But I vividly remember the day I was in Tom's office and I said, Tom, we've had Alton on a few times. I think he would be a good host. And that's all I had to say because, next week you was over here.
That's right. Yeah. You guys told me you're going to be looking for a host, though, right?
We kind of got off that path of looking. We thought we found the right person.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys' confidence in me. But it's a pleasure working with you and Keith both, though, because you guys do a wonderful job here. Talk a little bit about, because we have City Week, you got Smoke Signals, you got the cooking show with Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff. Yep. Talk about some of how you guys go about putting those things together.
Luck.
Okay.
We stumble onto things. I think we had an idea of having Jeffrey on one of your shows one time.
Okay.
And he did such a good job that it was like, there's a spinoff. We can do a cooking show.
Okay.
And we go out there, a full setup. You notice the down camera shooting down, and then the other camera. So we're shooting all these different angles. But the real fun stuff is not just the shows, but it's the other stuff we do. And I'm hoping to take this last few minutes of the show to show you a couple of videos we did.
Okay.
One of them you was in.
All right.
It was a video on education here in LaGrange, and we took it from a different perspective. We didn't want to show numbers.
Okay.
We wanted to tell stories. And the other one is A Mayor's Welcome to LaGrange. And if you go to our YouTube page, that's usually the first video you'll see. So if you don't mind, we'll get Keith to roll that footage, and maybe we can come back and say bye to the viewers.
All right. Well, Philip, it's a pleasure sitting down with you. Again, you guys do a wonderful job. You and Keith McDowell, I appreciate working with you all from week to week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alton.
Let's watch these videos, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, I'm Alton West. I am the Director of Community Development with the City of LaGrange. Anytime you see dirt being turned in the community, whether it be residentially, commercially, and some light industrial, that comes through my office. My staff and I will review it, we approve it, or we disapprove things, or send them back to the developer for additional comments. So that is what I'm responsible for within the City of LaGrange.
My name is Liza Fritchley. I'm Vice President here at West Georgia Health System in charge of our Senior Services Division. That includes 2 nursing homes, our assisted living facility, hospice, and home care. Also do risk management, our lean performance improvement, as well as compliance.
I grew up pretty much my entire life in LaGrange, Georgia. Started around kindergarten and worked my way up through LaGrange school system, Troup County school system. Went to LaGrange High School where basically, I guess, got me ready for my career as far as what I would do after I graduated.
Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Honeycutt. I'm a pediatrician here in LaGrange, Georgia. I was educated by the Troup County Schools, went to University of Georgia, and graduated from the Medical College of Georgia.
My name is Jack Mormon. I'm the principal of Hollisand Elementary School, and I'm a product of the Troup County School System and also LaGrange College.
I think all of the subjects that I took while I was in high school or elementary school helped me to set my goals.
The Troup County School System does a good job of setting goals for each child at the beginning of each year.
A lot of the classes I took, like my Englishes, my chemistries, my math, had already seen most of this stuff in high school. So going to college, it was an easy transition for me.
We had every opportunity to take the high-level classes to get what I needed to get through to be able to compete with my peers to do graduate school and things that I might not have been able to if I hadn't gotten that experience.
Through advanced placement classes, through robotics clubs and academic bowl teams, they have the public school system has the means for rigorous education.
I know I had several friends or other people that I know that went to different high schools, were in different states. They weren't as prepared as I was because they didn't have the option to take a pre-calculus in high school. So once they got to college and had to take pre-calculus, it was a new concept to them. It was foreign to them, and they had to pretty much start from scratch. Me having that opportunity to take that in high school, once I got to college algebra, took pre-calculus, it was very simple. I made A's in both of those courses because of the preparation that I got in high school at LaGrange High.
When you think back between medical school college and high school, probably your high school teachers probably stand out the most. And that's just the time in your life when I feel like you are going to choose your path in life. And they have the direction to put you where they want, where you have the opportunities to go. And for me, that was what made the difference. It was the teachers in high school that motivated me, had faith in me, built my self-confidence so that I could go further in life.
I had tremendous teachers, Miss Joanne Stevens, Miss Jambley, Miss Betty Jambley, several others that inspired me to say, you're going to go to college. And they gave me the writing skills, especially the math skills. Mr. Spence was a great math teacher. Those folks really got me ready with the expectation that you're going to succeed in college, and this is what you're going to expect. So when I walked into LaGrange College, I wasn't able to make good grades in my freshman year because I actually knew how to study, I knew how to write a paper, I knew how to do a math problem.
I think even back to my junior high years, not only did we have opportunity to participate in the curriculum, but we also had opportunity to participate in extracurricular activities. My junior high years, I was instrumental in basketball, and I carried that on to my high school years. I played basketball there, I ran track.
I was a cheerleader, we had tennis, we had football, just plenty of opportunities to expand on extracurricular activities.
Was very active as far as sports. Played football, I wrestled, ran track and field. I did a number of sports.
Of course, we had the arts. I got a chance to do plays. I got a chance to do one act and things like that.
They have a Spanish club, they have a chorus, an art club. Really, any avenue that the child might have an interest in, there's more than likely a club.
With opportunities that I had through high school, was able to compete with people who had gone to private schools in Atlanta and other places in Georgia that were maybe bigger towns, but I had all that on my resume that I was able to do the clubs and the activities and was able to compete with my peers.
I think the Troup County school system here gives you that foundation. It gives you all those things, the curriculum, the extracurriculum, the teachers, the social groups and things of that nature to make you that holistic person to help you be a productive citizen in our society.
From day one when we put our kids in the Troup County school system, we haven't had any regrets. I think that they have been motivated, they are academically challenged, they have extracurricular activities. My boys have been a part of the academic ball team, which is in addition to their normal homework, they have extra homework to do for that. They focus in on their interests. They find out that key thing that motivates that child and really helps them to excel in all of the courses, but by focusing on their interest, it helps tailor that learning.
LaGrange is just an amazing place to come back and have your kids in school. It is just a place where the kids have so many opportunities to do academics as well as extracurricular activities, an environment to learn in and to be raised in, which is probably just as important also as your school education, is the environment around you as you learn. And this is just a place that has the best of both worlds.
I would recommend anyone to come and raise their family in LaGrange. Not only, but it's a great place to live. I think it's a thriving community, economically great people here, a lot of things to do. From sports, great sports town, so if you're into that, your kids are into it. It'd be a great place to grow up there. But as far as getting prepared for college, academics, it's a great school system.
This is a school system that understands the challenges that are coming. We've got incredible professionals from pre-K all the way up to the high school level that know the expectation of colleges, of the world of work. We, as a school system, are looking at a career academy. We are getting people ready for the challenges that are to come. That's one of the things that I really love about our school system, that we've got a small town feel, but with big city expectations. We're really working hard to get these kids ready for the next step.
Through my education with the Troup County school system, I became self-aware and self-motivated and was able to then reach my goals through the education I got in the high school, elementary, middle school, use that knowledge to transfer to Georgia Tech to be able to have that academic career, then to want to pursue a master's. And then I had no qualms moving back to LaGrange and being able to provide back to the community that had raised me.
Great teachers, great schools, opportunity to excel. If a child wants to, there's no reason they can't achieve everything they want to here. And the community tends to support that and gives a lot of support to the schools.
Hello, I'm Jim Thornton, Mayor of LaGrange, Georgia, and I hope you'll take the time to learn a little about our great city. I think you'll like what you see. Located less than an hour from the world's busiest airport in Atlanta, conveniently located off Interstates 85 and 185, our city is a regional hub for advanced manufacturing with a great job base. Our city is home to a wide variety of manufacturing and service businesses with abundant infrastructure of water, sewer, natural gas, and electricity to support growth and expansion needs. Our medical facilities are first rate, with a hospital consistently ranked one of the best in Georgia. We have all the modern conveniences of the 21st century, but we have managed to retain our small town charm. And that is something we hope to always preserve. Strolling through our beautiful downtown, complete with parks and fountains, you will find busy streets with great restaurants and locally owned businesses. But only a few minutes from downtown, you can be fishing for bass in West Point Lake, enjoying a Broadway caliber musical at LaGrange College, listening to a concert by our acclaimed symphony orchestra, or watching your child's ball game at one of our first-class recreation facilities. We have great schools, both public and private, diverse housing options, and numerous churches and civic groups. Whatever your interests and those of your family, I bet you will find a place to plug in here. And perhaps most of all, we want you to join us here. I know I speak for all residents of LaGrange when I say that we would like to invite you, your family, and your business to our great little city. We are very proud of our town, and we want to share it. If you ever visit LaGrange in person, please look us up at City Hall. We will be glad to show you around and to show you why we think this is such a great place to call home.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from the LaGrange Police Department, Corporal Wesley Engel, as he talked about safety tips for our young people and also for all the drivers here in our city to make our young people safe as they prepare and go back to school. So make sure that you slow down, take that extra time, young people, so that our kids can arrive safely and back home safely. Also, I had on this morning a very special guest. I had on the station manager, Philip Sledge, as he talked about some of the various programs that he and Keith McDowell put together for your viewing pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoy all of the shows that they produce here because they take their very best time to prepare all these shows for your viewing pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed City Week for this week. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.